Welcome everybody, my name is Larry and today we're going to have a little chat about, well, I'm going to have a little chat, you guys are going to sit there and listen. Today we're going to talk about early access and my thoughts on the whole matter. First, let me get this straight, I don't think all early access is bad, just full priced early access games that are broken. With that said, what is early access? Early access is what used to be known as playtesting, where dev would have a game ready to be played and would ask people to test the game, be that playing it and trying to break it, or just playing it to see if it worked. That's what it used to be. It used to be free, okay? Devs used to just put it up on the internet and go, hey, everyone come play our game and let us know what you think. That all changed when the Minecraft came. You see, Minecraft was the first early access game to get mass traction and prove that people will pay for an unfinished game. Now, Minecraft's an exception because that game later went on to be one of the greatest games ever known. Whether you think it's a good game or not, it sold a shit ton of copies and Notch sold the company for $2.1 billion or some crap. Okay? It's a successful game. But that's not really what early access is now. Now, early access is a wild place to be if you're looking for a cool new game to play. Early access is like playing Russian roulette with your wallet. What you're looking at right now is an early access game called Novus Inceptio. I probably pronounced that wrong. If you want to go and check it out, link will be down in the description as always. Feel free to do what you wish with that. This is the game that got me thinking about all this and made me want to just do this video. So, Novus Inceptio is an early access game that was released a little while ago, 5th of October 2015. And it's still in early alpha. Like it's in very early alpha. It's not even alpha version 1.0. It's look at the top right corner there. You can see alpha version 0.10.20. 020. Sorry. That's nowhere near close to being ready, and it's coming up to 2 years. Like this year will be. This game has been out for 2 years. I don't think this is a game to go any much further. That's nothing on the game. It's nothing on the devs. It's just. This is one of the things that's out there. So that's my big problem with early access. You're only guaranteed the version of the game you're getting now. So if you buy a game now and it says, this is what you will get, but not until 3 years down the line when we finish it. That's not a good thing. That's something that's not worth buying into. Would you buy a car that only had 3 wheels and half an engine? But you were told that in 3 years you'll get a full car. Alright, so you walk into the dealership and you go, I'd like to buy this car. And he goes, certainly sir or madam, here it is. And he gives you the keys and you go outside and it's got 3 wheels and half an engine. No, you'd be upset, you'd be complaining, going, where the fuck's my car, what's going on? You sold me a car, this isn't a car, this is half a car. That's kind of what you're getting with early access games. Doesn't seem reasonable to me when you put it like in those terms. If you put it into a real world situation, that doesn't seem fair. Alright? But that's essentially what you're doing. You're saying, I like the idea you're going for. Here's my money. I'm a trust you won't peace out on me. Deal? And the dealership goes, sure. Smiles at you, waves, hands you the keys to your car, and you both go your own ways. Alright? You have no guarantee that deal is going to be there in 3 years to give you your extra wheel and your gearbox. You have no idea. But that's what you're buying into when you're buying an early access game. So I have a couple other problems with early access. Mainly stemming from Steam. Okay, this is going to be a big shot at Steam here. Gaben, I love you. You're the Lord and Father, all of that. But you fucked up a little, okay? You fucked up. Mostly with your green light, alright? You can get a game on green light easy as shit, alright? Super easy. All it needs is enough people to look at it and go, hey, this looks fun. Maybe I like the idea. It could be fun. And enough people do that. And it gets put on Steam. It's on Greenlight and it goes through. It's on Steam for like $19.99. It has a big banner that says early access. Not to mention how bad some of them are. Okay, a lot of them are bad. Some are good. Don't worry, we're going to get into the good ones. But a lot of them are bad. Not bad as in story. Hell, most of them don't have a story. Most of them these days don't have any sort of story because they're all trying to desperately cling to that survival crafty zombie genre that boomed and is slowly dying. Bad is in like poorly coded and unoptimized to the point that if you want the game to look even semi-decent, what you're watching now, to get this at a stable frame rate, I had to run everything on low. Well, I could have some things on medium, but most of it was on low, like all the textures and all that. Didn't actually change any when you put it to high, it just made it run worse. The textures didn't change. And not everyone can do that, Not everyone has, like, two Titans and like a 7700K or like a 6950X or whatever. You know, not everyone has that. But yeah, so it's pretty bad. So there's so many of them that are poorly optimized that need just like behemoth beasts summoned from Satan himself to be able to run them at like a decent quality, to make them look nice and to actually play through them. You're going for a game that isn't a subscription based game and it's just a one-time here it is. You probably don't want to be charging a shitload of money for a game that's bad, because then a lot of people aren't going to play it, and then you're not going to make as much money in the long term. You want to have as many people be able to buy into that game as you can, especially with a game that intends to do multiplayer. Okay, this game here, Novus Inceptio, it claims it wants to do multiplayer at some point. I mean, that's just me. Doesn't seem right, limiting down like your customer base to a select few people. If you're going to have a game in early access, make sure you're actually doing things with it. Don't let it just stand there with no updates, no nothing. If it's finished, get it out of early access. If it's still buggy and needs fixing or tweaking, fix it or tweak it. Don't let it sit around being bad and just not doing anything with it, okay? That's terrible. An example of this is DayZ. Right, DayZ started out as a mod for Arma 3 until the devs were like, you know what, we can't actually do what we want in this engine. Here, we're going to go to a different engine and make the game its own standalone thing. That was in 2013. In 2016, what I can tell is it got one update. Okay, one update in an entire year for a game that's still in early access. That costs a shitload of money. How much does Arma actually cost? Let's find out. So DayZ is $34.99. $34.99 for a game that has gotten very little updates and is still a broken piece of crap. That's exactly why you don't buy into early access games. There's no point keeping it in early access if you're sitting there going, all right guys, the game's done, isn't it? And your team's going, yeah, it's done. Are we going to add anything? No, probably not. Are we going to fix anything? No, probably not. All right, should we get it out of early access? No, because then we can just blame early access when it's full of bugs still. And it's like, oh, your game's broken, and they sit there and go, oh, but it's still early access, you know, we're still working on things, when everyone knows, like, rightfully, you're not. And all this is all before you even get into the issue of, is it okay to sell an unfinished product, as long as you know it's unfinished, but maybe kinda could become finished? I look at it as a grey area. Well, no, you can't just go around claiming, this will be the best space-flying RPG, you know, with these sick ideas and concepts. You can go around saying that this is what it could be, right? This is where we want to take what we have. Think of it as a supermarket selling you the ingredients to make an amazing roast dinner, right? They sell you the pork, the vegetables, the what else? I guess like garlic and all that sort of stuff, which probably falls under vegetables. They're not saying that, here, we're selling you this. They're going, here, we're selling you these ingredients and these are what it could turn into. And what about if you're not happy with what you get, alright? What if one of these games you buy is crap? Well, if you were to buy the latest Call of Duty and it turns out to be a buggy piece of crap, you can get a refund because it's not finished. Does the same thing work with games that are clearly labelled as not finished, which is pretty much what early access is claiming? It's claiming the game's still in early access, it's still in a alpha or a beta, whatever they want to call it, sort of state, so it's not actually a finished game. Before Steam implemented their refund policy that allows you to refund a game much easier, sometimes in a lot of cases a little too easy, you either had to fight it and pray that you got through with it, or just accept that you wasted however much on a broken game and hope that one day it turns into something's playable. Now that I've shit on early access, let me give you some good things about it that give me some hope, alright? It's amazing for small dev teams to be able to put time into making their games the way they want to make them, alright? You're paying them so they can make the games. I know I shit on it before and said that it was a bad idea, but some are worth it, alright? Great games that are in early access. Astroneers is a great one that just came out recently. Rust, like I said, great game. Amazing game. I don't know. Where I stand on the whole thing is, I don't really like early access games. If I could, I wouldn't play early access games, but a lot of good games are just coming out straight into early access these days. And sadly, a lot of bad ones are doing it, and they're flooding the market with just utter shit. The way I look at it is, People are building early access games and keeping them in early access for longer and longer and longer because they don't have to fix what's wrong with their game. Okay, if a game's in early access, you can get away with it being a buggy piece of shit because you can sit there and go, oh, but it's still in early access, we're still working on it for years and years. Alright, go back to the Arma 3 example. Arma 3 probably has some of the worst everything about the game since it's been kept going. And it's still in early access. That's crazy. Right? And if you even call some of these devs out, I'll use Arma 3 again, not Arma 3, sorry, DayZ again as an example because they're really shitty with this. There are some DayZ devs on Twitter that if you tell them, hey, this is broken about your game, something's bugged, something's not quite working right, instead of taking that criticism, what they will do is they will block you and pretend that nothing is wrong. Does that not seem wrong? Does that not seem really, really fucked up that you can't take criticism that your game is broken? These people are sitting here playing your game that you insist is, oh, it's still early access, it's allowed to be broken, but you won't actually do anything to fix the problem. That doesn't seem wrong. It seems kind of wrong to me. But there are some good ones too. So I don't know. Do with this what you will. I just feel like I needed to say it. Anyway, until next time, I'll be back later. Bye.